blizzard stopping us, we work.
Terence Crawford has begun his training for the highly awaited bout against Canelo Alvarez much sooner than anyone expected. But it's not just the early start that's raising eyebrows. Crawford seems to be driving himself harder than ever before. His most recent training footage might just be the most intense display of effort we've seen from him so far. It's more than just lifting weights and working on his neck. Crawford is dialing up both his power and technical precision as he sets out to become only the third fighter to defeat Canelo Alvarez in the ring. A new training clip confirmed Turki Alakshik's earlier claim that Crawford had sustained an injury but was quick to bounce back into training. Fans can't help but admire Crawford's phenomenal shape as he prepares for the showdown. Known for his unmatched skills and unblemished record, Terence Crawford continues to stand as a prime example of what unwavering dedication and targeted physical preparation can achieve.
Good round, good.
Terence Crawford's path to greatness has been built on a foundation of brutal training regimens and a strict routine that shaped him into one of boxing's all-time greats. As he gears up to face Canelo Alvarez, his regimen includes a wide array of exercises designed to enhance his boxing prowess while keeping his body in top condition. What we've seen and learned about Crawford's abilities is truly extraordinary. As one of the rare active double undisputed champions, he boasts the uncommon gift of throwing jabs and landing powerful punches with either hand.
Deep breath. Keep doing what you're doing. Just using that jab good. Using that jab good.
With a spotless record of 41 wins, 41 fights, and 31 knockouts, and an aggressive instinct to finish injured rivals, Terence Crawford has firmly established himself in boxing's elite. Now 36 years old, he remains determined to perform at the highest level well into his late 30s. Over his last 3 bouts, he has partnered with renowned conditioning and supplement expert Victor Conti, seeking to elevate his training even further. As Crawford climbs the weight ladder for the much-anticipated fight this year, his conditioning and overall fitness will be critical to his pursuit of legendary status. Kent has described the results as nothing less than outstanding. Since joining Terence, this being our 4th collaboration, based on the data and blood work, we've seen him in the best shape ever, Kent stated. I'd go as far as calling it superhuman. Training in the high-altitude surroundings of Colorado Springs, Colorado, at 6,700 feet above sea level, Crawford has stayed closely aligned with his team. The physical benefits from such altitude training are clear, supporting his dominant performances over top fighters like Errol Spence Jr., Sean Porter, Kell Brook, and others.
Well, yeah, the fighters that I work with, I do not encourage them to do any road work. If they do, I try to keep it down to once.
Kent points out that descending from high altitude can temporarily disrupt an athlete's physical system, leading to fluctuating fitness metrics. To counter this, the team has worked on readjusting Crawford's physical markers after his stint in Colorado. You go through a rebound effect, and then your performance spikes to 8, 9, 10, or 11. All the advantages from Colorado training are timed for peak fight readiness, Kent said. While Crawford is stationed in Los Angeles, he's using an oxy mask, what Kent calls super oxygenation equipment. Breaking it down, Kent explained, at sea level, you're breathing 20.9% oxygen. Terence is wearing an open design mask that delivers 68% oxygen, enhancing both his recovery and performance at the highest level.
And the reason is you're developing slow twitch muscle fiber when you do tempo type long distance road work.
Here's the science behind it. Red blood cells are filled with hemoglobin, which functions like seats on a bus, transporting oxygen and nutrients to the muscles. Blood is made up of about 55% plasma and 45% red blood cells. When all hemoglobin seats are occupied, excess oxygen flows into the plasma. This is the superoxygenation process. So how do you simulate high-altitude recovery without physically relocating? The answer lies in cutting-edge technology. Kent has spent years refining these recovery methods after a highly publicized period in his past. Over 2 decades ago, his Belco facility in the Bay Area was famously raided for its connection to performance-enhancing drugs. His clients included Olympic legends like Marion Jones and Tim Montgomery, boxing star Shane Mosley, baseball icon Barry Bonds, and other top-tier athletes. Today, Kent focuses on legal and advanced sports science to aid elite training and recovery.
Genetically, there's obvious variation, but you're about 50% slow, 50% fast. The type of training that you do can make you 80% fast.
After serving a 4-month sentence in a low-security federal facility, Victor Conti has redefined his life, building a new career through his company, SNAC. Specializing in legal training methods, sleep aids, and performance recovery supplements, SNAC now supports many boxing champions including Devin Haney, Claressa Shields, and Demetrius Andrade. According to Conti, Terence Crawford is now benefiting from the most concentrated oxygen-based recovery system possible. Using an oxy mask in his hotel room fitted with a diffuser, Crawford breathes in enriched oxygen that reaches both nostrils and mouth. He inhales 68% oxygen, Conti explains, while exhaling waste substances like lactic acid, carbon dioxide, and ammonia. This process cleanses his system and boosts both his recovery and athletic output. Discussing his elite fitness, Crawford shared, "I feel like I'll be stronger and have more energy. I won't need to drop that extra 7 pounds, so my body won't be under as much strain. I feel great, and I'm ready." His outstanding condition is backed by blood tests and real-time sensor tracking of key physiological stats such as heart rate, hydration, breath control, blood circulation, and oxygen levels. His heart beats at a pace 1/3 slower than the average, and his resting breath rate is impressively efficient. "What's most impressive is how composed he is. I've never seen him this calm," Victor Conti remarked. Between rounds, his heart rate settles quickly, and he returns energized each time. He's one of the most scientifically prepared fighters ever. The cornerstone is proper training and recovery, Kent emphasized. You must give the body sufficient time to recover, and that's where technology steps in. We're taking boxing into the scientific age. This isn't your grandfather's training anymore. Crawford's weight cut for the official weigh-in will be effortless, Kent assured. It's like perfectly landing a jumbo jet. It'll be his easiest cut ever. That's what modern science does. We'll nail the weigh-in precisely, he said. Terence might just be the most scientifically advanced boxer the sport has ever seen. This level of preparation could prove decisive if Crawford manages a dominant win over Canelo, potentially closing out his career on an unforgettable note. Kent added, he can bulk up to 168 pounds in just 3 months, and he's set to prove it inside the ring.
Moving that jab up and down, and then when you go downstairs, take that downstairs, come up with the left foot. It's gonna be open.
We'll have 3 months for promotion, so time isn't an issue, Kent said. I built a smart team around him to enhance his calorie intake and build explosive type 2B fast-twitch muscle fibers. It's not about running long distances or steady-state cardio, it's high-intensity sprints and lifting heavy. That's how we're preparing for Canelo. Still, the immediate focus is staying present, Kent emphasized. We don't talk about the next step until we've conquered this one. Terence is in control. He gives me space to operate, and he's an intelligent athlete who fully understands the system. He's completely committed and a joy to work with. Beyond his scientific and conditioning crew, Crawford is also training under the watchful eye of 3-division world champion and Hall of Famer, James Toney, who's dedicated to contributing to Crawford's final phase of preparation.
With Crawford's recent win, he's been asking for Canelo. He'll beat Canelo.
Speaking with Mill City Boxing, the veteran of 92 professional fights who, like Canelo, was never stopped throughout his career, claimed he could guide Crawford to achieve a knockout. It would be massive if that fight comes together, he said. I'd rejoin Crawford's camp and show him exactly how it's done. I respect BAC, but if he's unable to help Crawford, I'll make sure it gets handled. That head will be roasted, fish fried, and ribs sizzling. He went on to say, Canelo can definitely be knocked out, he's not invincible. He's not James Toney. He's nowhere near my level. He couldn't even carry my gym bag. Toney has consistently voiced his stance before, dismissing comparisons between his own success at super middleweight and what Canelo has accomplished.
He could potentially just...
Same thing.
Same ending?
Same thing. Trust me.
Wow.
Despite that, Terence Crawford is fully aware of the test that lies ahead and remains determined to push forward in hopes of solidifying his already elite legacy. Former unified welterweight champion Keith Thurman weighed in on the matter, offering what could be a reason why the Guadalajara-born star has held off on accepting the much-anticipated clash. In an interview with Fight Hype TV, Thurman shared a past memory where Canelo made a notable comment about facing Crawford. I recall Canelo saying he didn't want that fight because it reminded him of Amir Khan, Thurman recounted, referring to the kind of speed and finesse Crawford would bring to the ring.
Crawford's been calling out Canelo, and Canelo now is being rumored to be chasing Beterbiev. So I guess my question for you is, do you think...
Back in May 2016, Canelo Alvarez faced Amir Khan, who was then the former unified light welterweight champion, in a defense of his WBC middleweight crown. Khan had jumped up 2 weight divisions to take on Canelo, which mirrors the situation Crawford would be in if the two ever meet. Thurman elaborated by noting that, just like the Khan bout, there isn't much for Canelo to gain by taking on Crawford. Fighting the smaller guy doesn't offer much reward, he said. Even if he wins, it won't be something significant to add to his legacy.
Chase glory at 175, become undisputed, and take that route, or give this fight to Bud, the smaller man, which could be a big...
Although Canelo Alvarez completely dominated Amir Khan and ended the fight with a devastating 6th-round knockout, the public reaction wasn't entirely positive. Fans and analysts accused Canelo of hand-picking weaker opponents, and even before the bout, many had already dubbed it a mismatch due to the considerable size difference. Keith Thurman, while acknowledging Crawford's confidence and urgency, argued that Canelo simply wouldn't entertain the idea. When your legacy is already set, you have the power to choose your own path, he explained. He's in a place where he can call the shots.
What route do you think he should go?
Nah, man. I mean, when we talk Canelo, I mean, you're talking about like the Mexican king, you know? So when you talk
Keith Thurman claimed that Canelo Alvarez holds a similar view when it comes to facing Crawford, to the point where he's previously taken verbal jabs at Crawford, even advising him to stay put at 147 pounds. However, Thurman's perspective doesn't quite hold up, as Crawford himself had already spoken on the issue of weight disparity prior to the Canelo vs. Edgar Berlanga match in September. During an appearance on the Porter Way podcast with Sean Porter, Crawford remarked that Canelo has been setting catch weights for years. Canelo faced a smaller Floyd Mayweather, a smaller Amir Khan, and Jermall Charlo, said Crawford, adding, if I'm really such an easy opponent due to size, then why did Canelo ask for $150 million for the fight?
And when you talk about kings in the division, kings do what kings do, you know? So whatever he wants to do, man, that's how it is. You know, his last...
Crawford brushed off Canelo's reasoning, calling it a weak excuse and affirming, I'm a threat to his legacy. While the unpredictability of boxing always leaves room for possibilities, the chances of a Terence Crawford vs. Canelo Alvarez bout happening anytime soon appear minimal. With Bob Arum already advocating for a Canelo vs. Beterbiev fight in the coming year, the question remains, who will Canelo give the next opportunity to?
That's just what you're going to see out of Canelo. But the beauty is, you know, we get such a beautiful skill set of boxing, poise.
On the flip side, Leonard Ellerbe, CEO of Mayweather Promotions, believes the clearer path for Canelo lies elsewhere. He argues that a blockbuster fight between Canelo and David Benavidez holds more value than a bout with Terence Crawford, even though Crawford has expressed strong interest in making it happen. In Ellerbe's view, Benavidez simply presents the bigger draw. He supports this by pointing out the heightened interest and anticipation that surrounds a possible Canelo vs. Benavidez fight, especially now that Canelo has teased a major announcement regarding his next opponent.
Him and Terence Crawford now. Crawford calling him out, saying he'll go to 68.
I really don't want to comment too much on that.
Leonard Ellerbe maintains that a Canelo vs Benavidez showdown would generate more excitement and buzz across the boxing community. Many believe that Benavidez might be the one capable of ending Canelo's reign atop the super middleweight division. Their rivalry has been slowly building, with Benavidez calling out Alvarez well before his fight with Caleb Plant and before Crawford's historic undisputed welterweight title win. While a matchup between Canelo and Benavidez wasn't heavily discussed in the past, the picture is becoming clearer. Canelo is set to make an official announcement on February 15th at noon on Mexican TV network Azteca.
You know, Terence is a terrific fighter. He's pound for pound, you know.
As Canelo Alvarez prepares to outline the next chapter in his storied career, fans are hopeful it will include a showdown with David Benavidez. However, emerging reports suggest an entirely different path. Word has it that Canelo is expected to face Jermall Charlo in an undisputed super middleweight title clash. Scheduled for May 4th in Las Vegas, the event is set to enhance the rich tradition of Cinco de Mayo fight weekends that Canelo has become synonymous with. Speculation has run wild about who the opponent might be, and the excitement continues to build.
Wants to do, and I mean, he knows what he's aspiring to do, what he wants to do in his career. Hope he gets to fight. But it's not just that easy to say that you want to fight.
Numerous names have circulated, Terence Crawford, David Benavidez, and William Smith among them, as potential candidates for a face-off with Canelo Alvarez. But recent reporting from the ring indicates that Jermall Charlo is now the front-runner for Canelo's May matchup. Jermall is said to be aiming for redemption after his twin brother Jermall's loss to Canelo. When asked whether a Canelo-Crawford clash would outperform a Canelo-Benavidez bout in terms of revenue, Leonard Ellerbe didn't hesitate. "No," he said. "I know the numbers, I understand the business. It's not bigger. This has nothing to do with whether someone deserves the fight or not. It's strictly about business. Between Canelo Benavidez and Canelo Crawford, there's no comparison."
You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen like that. And I don't have nothing to do with any of that, but I'm just saying that. But if that's what he wants to do, I support.
There's no denying Terence Crawford's greatness, he's proven it time and again. But when it comes to the business aspect, things play out differently. Take Errol Spence and Crawford, for instance. Both are phenomenal fighters, and everyone knows Errol's my guy. Still, the biggest fight in boxing wasn't them, it was Tank versus Ryan. Even though Spence versus Crawford was hyped for nearly 7 years and featured two unbeaten stars in their prime, the financial results told another story. That event did only half the numbers that Tank's fight did. It all highlights the importance of understanding the market, including piracy and other variables that impact a pay-per-view's success. Ultimately, it comes down to understanding what works and what doesn't.
I mean, you know, I'm not one of them people that says that, oh, he's in over his head kind of thing. I would never say that. He's a terrific.
This isn't a situation where we're throwing money down the drain. There's one promoter out there who does that, but we take a different approach. We prioritize thoughtful, strategic decisions. That might lead to fights people question at first, but there's always a bigger vision. I'm really excited for this event on Amazon Prime. It's stacked with strong matchups. No, it's not an all-star cast, but the fights are solid, and we're expecting major fan engagement and turnout.
What would Leonard Ellerbe, the boxing fan and the boxing mind, the man who's made so much money in this business, what would he...
When Leonard Ellerbe was asked to pick a winner between Canelo and Crawford, he admitted, "I haven't given it much thought. But from a business standpoint, the Benavidez fight is far bigger. No question about it." Meanwhile, speaking to Marcos Vasquez of Fight Hub TV, Sean Porter addressed Crawford moving up 2 full weight classes and whether he could handle the power difference. "I worry about him taking Canelo's punches over a full 12 rounds, Porter said.
12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down. So I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets licked.
Porter provided a thoughtful breakdown, suggesting Canelo would begin the fight on the front foot, applying pressure and working to wear Crawford down. However, he added that Canelo often fades late in fights, which could offer Crawford a window of opportunity. Even so, Porter didn't declare a winner. So many layers go into defining a champion, he said. You could spend an hour unpacking all the qualities that make Terence Crawford who he is.
And he still got that kind of steam, but, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend.
Sean Porter, who was stopped by Crawford in the 10th round of their 147-pound title clash, disagrees with those claiming Canelo has the upper hand. Speaking to Fight Hype, Porter argued that Crawford carries several advantages into such a fight. It's not just about brute strength, he said. Boxing is about intelligence, agility, speed, endurance, and ring IQ. When you weigh all those traits, it's clear Terence has a lot going in his favor.
Much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has.
I honestly believe that fight would be fascinating. Canelo isn't the same fighter he was 3 or 4 years ago. He's not in steep decline yet, but his career is clearly transitioning.
Not doing this. It hasn't done this in 2 or 3 years. So obviously it ain't a fast decline, but Canelo's certainly just not who he used to be. Terence Crawford, you imagine he's probably training at 160, which means his body's not foreign to being as high as 165.
If you enjoyed the fight, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more knockout content only on Knuckle Forge.